What if everything you thought you understood about Stranger Things was only part of the truth? For years, fans held onto a single belief. Season 5 would be the end. The final chapter. The last bike ride through Hawkins. The final stand against the Upside Down. But now, that belief has shattered. The Duffer brothers have revealed something that changes everything. A secret project has quietly surfaced, Stranger Things, Tailies from '85, and it's sending shockwaves through the fandom. Because this isn't just another spin-off. It isn't bonus content or filler episodes. It's something far more unsettling. It's a missing chapter. A story that pulls us back to 1985, the most dangerous year Hawkins ever lived through. A year when secrets were buried instead of healed. When friendships were stretched to their breaking point. When the Upside Down didn't retreat, it grew smarter. And here's the revelation that has fans completely frozen. The Duffer brothers have finally explained what truly happens at the end of Season 5. And they've confirmed the Stranger Things universe does not end there. Yes, Season 6 is real. But not in the way anyone imagined. The finale of Season 5 isn't a conclusion. It's a threshold. A doorway into forgotten events, unseen choices, erased memories, and truths that were never shown on screen. Moments involving Eleven, Hopper, Vecna, and a horrifying reality about the Upside Down that was hidden for decades. So why 1985? Why reveal this now? And why did the Duffer brothers wait so long to tell us? Fans are now asking the most disturbing question of all. What if Hawkins never truly survived, and we're only now beginning to feel the aftermath? Because Tailies from '85 isn't about moving forward. It's about going back to the year everything quietly started to fall apart. And once you understand what the Duffer brothers confirmed about the final scene of Season 5, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Stranger Things was never meant to end. It was meant to change. 1985 was supposed to be the year Hawkins recovered. The mall was destroyed, the fires were blamed on accidents, and the town was told the worst was over. Parents tried to rebuild normal life. Kids tried to forget what they had seen. And for a brief moment, it almost worked. But something was wrong. The air felt heavier. Nights felt longer. People woke up with the lingering feeling that they'd experienced something terrifying, but couldn't remember what it was. According to the Duffer brothers, this wasn't peace. It was the silence before the truth surfaced. What fans never witnessed was that the Upside Down didn't lose in 1985. It adapted. Instead of tearing open massive gates, it learned to slip through invisible cracks. Instead of attacking loudly, it learned how to hide. Time itself began to distort. Days repeated. Memories blurred. Events felt slightly out of place. Hawkins wasn't under attack anymore. It was being rewritten. This is the hidden foundation of Stranger Things, Tailies from '85. 11 was the first to sense it. Even without her powers, she felt a pull, like a voice calling to her from somewhere just beyond reach. She believed she was broken, that she had lost something forever. But she was wrong. Her powers never disappeared. They became untethered from time. Vecna had discovered how to shift reality just enough to destabilize it, and 11, more than anyone, could feel those fractures. She wasn't weaker. She was ahead of everyone else. Hopper noticed the signs too. People forgot conversations he remembered clearly. Dates didn't align. Events felt scrambled. He began writing everything down, terrified his own mind would betray him. Then he realized something horrifying. Hawkins wasn't moving forward. It was stuck. And before Hopper disappeared, he left behind a final warning that reframes the entire series. 1985 wasn't over. It was waiting. The Duffer brothers revealed that Tailies from '85 introduces a character we were never told about, not because they weren't important, but because remembering them was dangerous. This character wasn't a hero. They weren't a villain. They were a witness. A child who saw the upside down before 11 ever did. Someone who slipped through time during the earliest experiments and never fully returned. The government erased all traces of them. Hawkins forgot they existed. But Vecna didn't. This forgotten child became proof that the upside down could do more than create monsters. It could steal moments, steal years, steal people, without anyone realizing they were gone. Vecna studied this child in secret during 1985, learning how humans fracture when time bends around them. This is why clocks became symbols. This is why memories mattered more than brute strength. Vecna wasn't building an army. He was building control. Meanwhile, Hawkins' children began experiencing something strange. Not visions, not creatures, but feelings. The sense they had already lived certain moments. The certainty that something terrible was about to happen, even when nothing did. Adults dismissed it as stress. Teachers blamed imagination. But the truth was far darker. These kids were brushing against timelines that weren't supposed to exist. The Duffer brothers confirmed that Season 5 doesn't end in victory. It ends in realization. The Upside Down was never trying to destroy Hawkins. It was trying to replace it. And 1985 was the blueprint. As Season 5 reaches its final moments, everything slows. The battle fades. The noise disappears. And instead of rushing ahead, the story turns backward. The final scene returns to 1985, not as a memory, but as a living moment. A door opens. A clock ticks. A choice is made, one we were never shown before. The Duffer brothers confirmed this moment exists outside normal time. It explains why Vecna waited, why the Upside Down is frozen in the past, why Hawkins always feels slightly disconnected from reality. Season 5 doesn't end the story. It exposes the lie the story was built on. 11 finally understands her true purpose. She wasn't created to fight monsters. She was created to anchor time. And when she lost her powers, the balance fractured. Vecna exploited that fracture, stretching it across decades. This is why the Upside Down mirrors the past. It isn't copying Hawkins. It's trapped in the moment it almost won. The final seconds of Season 5 don't show destruction. They show silence. And according to the Duffers, silence is far more dangerous than chaos. This is why Season 6 exists. Not as a continuation, but as a consequence. Stranger Things, Tales from 85 bridges what we saw with what we never questioned. It explores erased moments, ignored warnings, and choices made out of fear. Season 6 doesn't ask, can Hawkins survive? It asks, should it have? Time begins to break free, loops collapse, forgotten memories resurface. Characters remember things they were never meant to recall, and realize they've already lost more than they ever knew. Stranger Things was never just about monsters. It was about growing up, about memory, about pretending everything is fine until it is. Season 5 ends the fight. Season 6 reveals the truth. And 1985 never ended. It's been waiting. In the end, Stranger Things was never truly about creatures crawling from the dark. It was about something far more terrifying, the idea that some moments never release us, no matter how hard we try to move on. The Duffer brothers didn't create a story about the Upside Down. They created a story about time, memory, and the cost of denial. For years, we believed Hawkins survived. We believed the kids won. We believed each season pushed the story closer to closure. But Tales from 85 reveals the truth. Hawkins didn't escape the Upside Down. It learned to coexist with it. And living beside something broken eventually breaks you too. Season 5 doesn't offer a perfect goodbye. No neat ending, no comfort. It gives us understanding. 1985 wasn't just a year. It was a warning. This is why Season 6 changes everything. It's not about another monster. It's about consequences. About erased people, buried memories, and truth crashing back all at once. 11's journey proves this. She was never meant to destroy, she was meant to preserve balance. And when that balance failed, something terrible took root. Tales from 85 isn't nostalgia. It's revelation. The ending was never an ending. So now, the question is yours. Was Hawkins ever truly safe? Is 1985 still shaping everything we're seeing? And will Season 6 finally set things right, or trap everyone forever? In the end, Stranger Things was never really about monsters crawling out of the dark. It was about something far more unsettling, the idea that the past doesn't disappear just because we stop talking about it. That some moments don't fade. They wait. They settle into the cracks of memory. And when we least expect it, they come back louder than ever. For years, we believed Hawkins survived. We believed the gates were closed, the danger defeated, the story moving forward toward peace. We believed the kids won. But Tales from 85 forces us to confront a harder truth. Hawkins didn't escape the upside down. It learned to live next to it. And when you live beside something broken for too long, it starts breaking you too. Season 5 doesn't end with celebration. It ends with understanding. It shows us that winning a battle doesn't always mean healing the damage. Sometimes it only hides it. Sometimes the real cost doesn't show up until years later. And that's what makes this story hit harder now than ever before. Because Stranger Things grew up with us. What started as a story about kids on bikes became a story about memory, fear, and pretending everything is okay when it is. It became a reflection of growing up, of realizing that the past doesn't stay neatly behind us, no matter how badly we want it to. And that's why Tales from 85 matters so much. It isn't nostalgia. It isn't fan service. It's the truth we weren't ready to hear before. 1985 wasn't just a year. It was a warning. A warning that unresolved trauma doesn't vanish. That ignored choices echo. That silence can be more dangerous than chaos. And the Duffer brothers are asking us to face that head-on. Season 6 doesn't exist to give us another monster. It exists to give us consequences. To show us what happens when time finally catches up, when erased memories return, when forgotten people demand to be seen again, when the lies finally collapse under their own weight. And that raises the biggest question of all. Was Hawkins ever truly safe? That's not just a question for the characters. It's a question for us as fans, because Stranger Things has always been about connection, about friendship, about community, about facing fear together. And now the story invites us into its final evolution, not as passive viewers, but as people who care enough to look deeper. So now it's your turn. Do you think 1985 is still shaping everything we've seen? Do you believe Hawkins survived, or merely paused its destruction? And when Season 6 finally arrives, do you think it will free these characters, or trap them forever in the consequences of their past? Drop your theories in the comments. Seriously, this is one of those stories where every detail matters, where every fan sees something different. Your ideas, your interpretations, your questions, that's what keeps this universe alive. Stranger Things has always rewarded the fans who pay attention, and this is where that conversation gets even bigger. If this breakdown made you think, if it made you feel something, if it reminded you why you fell in love with this show in the first place, then make sure you like this video. It helps more fans find this story, more people join the discussion, and more theories come to light. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what comes next, because we're going deeper. Frame-by-frame breakdowns of the Season 5 finale, hidden clues inside Tales from 85, and every signal pointing toward what Season 6 is really about. And most importantly, share this video with another Stranger Things fan, someone who grew up with these characters, someone who still feels chills when they hear that theme song, someone who understands that Hawkins was never just a town on a map, it was a feeling, a memory, a place we all went together. Because the story isn't finished. The Upside Down still has secrets. And the scariest thing about Stranger Things was never the monsters. It was the idea that some years never let us go. So as the screen fades to black, as the music slowly plays, and that familiar chill settles in your chest. Remember this moment. Remember this question. Remember this year. Because Stranger Things didn't end. It evolved. And 1985 is still calling. Share your thoughts, like the video, subscribe, because this story rewards those who pay attention. The Upside Down isn't finished. The story isn't over. And 1985 is still calling.